Happening now, Temple suspends in-person classes to go virtual just 1 week after classes resumed for fall semester. Steve Keeley is on campus with student reaction. Hi, Steve. Meantime, it's back to school for several of our local school districts this week. Students at Upper Merion, Norristown, and North Penn will begin online classes today. But some students in Montgomery County will actually return to class for the first time. The Lower Moreland Township School District says it plans on offering both in-person and virtual learning options. Bill Anderson is the first person at school this morning. He's going to be welcoming students back when they show up around, what, 7, Bill? All right, we'll see what happens this week with that. Bill, thank you. Developing this morning, at least 5 people shot in North Philadelphia. This happened just before 1 o'clock this morning on 15th and West Allegheny Avenue. The victims are 3 men, 2 women, ranging in age from 17 to 31 years old. They are said to all be in stable condition. Meanwhile, weekend gun violence has really pushed Philadelphia over 300 homicides for the year, with no signs of it slowing down. A man shot and killed on Cecil B. Moore Avenue near 23rd Street just after midnight Sunday. A 36-year-old man shot 8 times in the chest and died. Police say they were responding to a large fight from a street party down the block when they heard several shots fired. When officers arrived, they say they found the victim and a Nissan Altima speeding off. The driver was later arrested. 2 hours later and 4 blocks away on Montgomery Avenue, a second deadly shooting. Investigators say a man in a car and another man on the street shot at one another. The wounded man in the car wound up crashing into a home a few blocks away and died. The second man is hospitalized and in critical condition. In Newcastle County, a police-involved shooting. It happened last night in the Ashbourne Hills community. That's on North Avon Drive. Officials say officers responded to a domestic incident when one officer fired a gun, striking a suspect who was then taken to the hospital. The condition of that suspect is unknown. 2 young boys were killed in a hit-and-run crash in Juniata Park over the weekend. A West Philadelphia mural dedicated to the life of slain Philadelphia Police Sergeant Robert Wilson III was defaced with graffiti. Now investigators are offering $10,000 for any information that leads to an arrest. Well, get ready to pay more at the gas pump if you head over to New Jersey to fill up at least another 9 cents more per gallon. Governor Phil Murphy says it's a hike in the state's gas tax starting October 1st. That's about a 22% increase, and it stems from a state fund that's supporting bridge and road infrastructure. 5:10 this morning, protests turned deadly in Portland. Coming up next on Good Day Philadelphia, we have new video released of the violent exchange between pro-Trump supporters and counter-protesters in Portland. 5:16 this morning, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers asking President Trump to, quote, reconsider his upcoming visit to Kenosha. This is protesters in multiple cities are demanding racial justice for Jacob Blake. Blake is a 29-year-old black man who was shot 7 times in the back by police. In Kentucky, the state attorney general receiving an FBI ballistics report from the deadly police shooting of Breonna Taylor. Attorney General Daniel Cameron says, however, there will not be any announcements about the investigation this week. He says more analysis is needed now that he has the report. Taylor was shot and killed by police during a no-knock warrant executed on her Louisville apartment back on March 13th. Several high-profile activists, including Beyonce and Oprah, have called for the arrest of the officers involved in that shooting. California wildfires continuing to take a dramatic toll on that state, burning more than 1 million acres in just a week. The Los Angeles Times reporting more than 3,000 homes and businesses could wind up destroyed all across that state. Meanwhile, residents are bringing some curbside praise for the crews that are putting their lives on the line. This show of support is in Pleasanton near the San Francisco Bay Area. People are waving during the firefighters' shift changes and giving them notes of encouragement as they prepare for another smoke-filled day. The head of the FDA says he's willing to fast-track a COVID-19 vaccine before phase 3 clinical trials are even complete. FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn says officials must be sure, though, the benefits outweigh the risk. Remembering Chadwick Boseman, a look back at his life on and off the screen, plus how he's breaking records even after his passing. And the quarantine has us all spending more time than ever with our pets. Well, there's a new study that says pets are playing a big role in keeping people sane during this pandemic. Well, United Airlines making some major changes to its booking policy. The airline says it will no longer charge for changes made to tickets already booked. Standard economy and premium class ticket holders will have change fees waived, but may have to pay for differences in fares. And developing this morning, police are searching for a suspect after they say a man was stabbed in the head while waiting for a SEPTA train. It happened just before midnight at the SEPTA platform at Broad Street and Girard Avenue in North Philadelphia. We are told the victim is in his 20s and is in stable condition. The Philadelphia Streets Department says trash and recycling pickup should return to its normal schedule this week, but city officials still say residents should try to reduce their waste if at all possible. Local frontline workers honored at the VMAs. Remember these guys? This TikTok of the team from Jefferson went viral, and it earned them a nomination for a new category at last night's show.